You really think that I would not make that solid proof, Doctor?
Oh, relax, Doctor. You've safely landed an unmanned plane before, right? Oh, never mind. I'm back, baby. Oh, yes. Yes, I missed that sound. Give me the good stuff, Chibnall. New year means new Doctor Who and new Doctor Who video reviews. These more standard and scripted edited ones will be found on the All Things Doctor Who channel, whereas you can look to my personal channel for more unscripted and codependent discussions between me and my friends Lucy and Edward. For the moment, though, you're here on this channel to listen to me talk about the new Series 12 premiere, Spyfall Part 1. And if nothing else, I'm honestly just happy that I don't have to be in the minority opinion on this one. It's just weird, isn't it? Even though I've always been in the pro-Chibnall camp and fully expected to enjoy Spyfall, the sheer amount of near-unanimous love and praise that I'm hearing for it honestly leaves me kind of astounded. Now, the cynical part of me wants to say that this is just kind of a typical fandom response to any episode that ends with a big twist. A twist which, if you want to maintain for yourself, I don't recommend watching this video until you finish the episode, because I'm going to go into spoilers. Really though, it just feels like I'm in Bizarro land. After years of mainly recognizing Chibnall as a guy who writes fun, character-driven stories, and it feels like only just now the rest of the world is catching up with me. Like, I really am curious as to what it is about this one that enamors so many other people, where previous Chibnall stories have failed. I can't really say I feel equipped to suss it out, since to me, this episode bears what I found to be all of the hallmarks of Chibnall's positive writing qualities. Starting with a glimpse into a day in the life of Ryan, Graham, and Yaz is a great choice. Along with some other small lines throughout the episode, it continues a habit of Chibnall's that I've always really liked, which is taking every opportunity to make clear that the gang has tons of adventures that we don't quite get to see. I like the notion that this might be setting up a through line where we watch the companions' normal lives clash with their TARDIS adventures, and I really hope that the rest of the series manages to pay that off. Either way, domestic sort of bliss, I guess, is interrupted for all four of our mains, as they're dragged into a strange, alien-infested spy conspiracy by a quickly assassinated Stephen Fry cameo. We also get straight-up confirmation, building off of last year's resolution, that Torchwood and Unit are confirmed gone. It's clear to me that I had a different take on the status of Unit than I was meant to coming off of resolution, and I'm curious to see how the rest of Series 12 plays out plot-wise, and how/if any of what goes on in the future necessitates getting rid of the extra hands on deck as far as dealing with extraterrestrials goes. And yet, as one classic series staple is kicked out, so too must another one be brought back in its place, and this is where the real spoilers come in, people, so if you haven't watched the episode already, don't get your knickers in a twist if I ruin it for you. See, Team TARDIS finds themselves working with MI6 liaison codename O, as played by Sacha Dhawan, who in a surprise twist turns out to be none other than the Master. Not gonna lie, while I eventually settled into the excitement for the reveal that the episode definitely wanted me to have, my first response was more along the lines of, didn't we just get rid of this guy? This girl? These guys? Quentin Reviews definitely put it best when he said that Doctor Who only has a couple of real plot twists that longtime fans will appreciate, which it tends to pull out every couple of years or so. But while I personally would have sat on the Master for a couple of years yet, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really eager to see more of Chibnall's take on him, and especially as portrayed through Sacha. This guy's great. He perfectly plays the Master persona slipping through the cracks of the O disguise, from small, semi-affectionate, semi-condescending vexation with the Doctor as soon as they meet up, to a sly bit of contempt for the companions in places, or the way that his friendly, fascinated demeanor will seem ever so slightly forced. Once the Master comes out and admits who they are, there's a bit of a turn in the performance, which while it still speaks to Sacha's skill, I hope doesn't mean that we're in for yet another giddy child Master. I mean, I'll accept it if that's what we get, but after Sim and Gomez, I want a Master that's less hyperactive. I fully believe that Sacha's capable of lending the Master the same dignity that Delgado and sometimes Ainley were able to, and I really hope that that side of them gets a chance to shine more than the jumping around with mood swings side. Just like with the Daleks last year, it'll be interesting to compare Chibnall's take on the character to Russell and Moffat's. as although all three definitely share similarities, I think it's already starting to become clear that the Dewan Master is going to serve a different narrative and character purpose to the Sim and Gomez portrayals, which already had a whole episode highlighting how different those two were from each other. Speaking of character though, I like that our protagonists are also on top form. Jodie continues to play 13 as a little bit more vulnerable and panicked in dangerous situations than other doctors tend to get, which is a nice little extra humanizing trait, and what I especially like about it is how it plays out in the ending, and why I think, twist aside, the final scene of the episode is its strongest. The Master makes 13 truly desperate. He games the whole scenario out to a degree that 13's eternal optimism is well and truly challenged for the very first time. The benefit to having a two-parter as your opener is, even if it's just for a week, we get to see 13 lose, which isn't something we've seen yet, and nothing cements this more than the frantic delivery of the line, only for it to turn out there is none. Initially, after finishing the episode, I thought it would make more sense to end with the scene of the companions on the plane. That would be the more impactful cliffhanger, but ending with 13 alone and defeated, as the camera zooms out with the weird dark tendrils literally obscuring any kind of light, is just a stronger ending to the episode's narrative. It leaves her in a place that her previous 11 stories didn't, and that's a great mood to have to sit with till next episode. As for the companions, putting Yaz and Ryan together for the bulk of it really highlights the way that they foil each other. Ryan, the somewhat cynical and cautious oddball, while Yaz is straight-laced, outgoing, and confident. The two make a great duo, and I especially like how Tossin Cole plays helpless and desperate when he thinks he's just seen Yaz die in front of him. He and Mandip Gill are also really good in the brief scene where they discuss her feeling as though she did die. I just hope that gets expanded on in the next episode, because in the confines of this one, it reads as a bit disconnected from everything else. Likewise, pairing Graham with 13 highlights how easily her spontaneous and wacky nature still puts him off at times. I also really like Graham's conversation with the Master, where I think we're setting up a thread of the Doctor being deliberately mum about her past to her companions. The fact that 13 seems a bit distant from her crew coming off Series 11 is something a lot of people complained about, and I like the possibility that we'll address that as a source of drama here. I like this little smile, too, after the Doctor herself interrupts O's attempt at offering Graham a peek at some info on her. It's a nice quick beat of awkward comedy, but you can also detect a bit of lingering temptation and curiosity in Graham's eyes, as if they really do want to take O up on the offer. On a technical level, the effects and direction are good as they've ever been, and I remain fascinated by the as-of-yet unnamed alien spies as I was during the trailer. It's kind of fascinating just how many shots from the trailer were taken right from this first episode, and I really enjoy that as it leaves me curious as to what the plots and conflicts of future episodes are going to be. Musically, the Bond-esque tracks Segunak and Ola lends to the third act of the episode are some of the most fun stuff he's done for the show so far. That super dramatic couple of shots during the bike chase accompanied by the equally over-the-top musical sting is great. If I had any complaints about Spyfall Part 1, it's that as a spy genre homage episode, it can be a little plotty in places. I'm not 100% certain that this is a story that needed to be over a regular episode's length, is what I'm saying. Although who knows, if it were cut down, I might have the exact opposite complaint. I'll never complain about having more Doctor Who for my buck, and I'm more eager than ever to get into the rest of what we've got in store this year. But how do you guys feel about the episode? Comment below to let your voice be heard, and subscribe to both this channel and the one linked in the description if you want more Doctor Who content along with other stuff that involves me.